Hello friends. First of all, we would like to say a big thank you to all of our viewers and critics who has viewed our first video on OSQuery and Fleet installation. If you haven't viewed that yet, please don't delay and watch that. You will find the link in the description below. We have received a lot of requests for a similar demo where OSQuery D and Fleet installation can be verified with a certificate. The steps have been given in the Git repo, but many of us face the certificate validation failure while replicating that. So let's do that in this current demo. We will be coming up with many such topics from our personal experience. So please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so that you don't miss any of our InfoSec topics.
Okay, this is our Kolide Fleet Server Management Console. As we have seen in our previous demo, we have already launched Kolide Fleet Server um, using the previous steps. If you have missed those steps and want to understand how we have done that, so we would request you to go back to that particular video and watch that. Okay, in this particular video, as we have mentioned earlier, we are going to incorporate the certificate in such a way that our management console and the host, which will be running the OSQuery daemon, will be talking with a secured way. So, if you remember last time, we have used a similar kind of script um, for launching the OSQuery daemon, right? So if you remember, this was a kind of script. Um, this was the command that we used while running the launcher, and if you remember, we have used that insecure tab. So this was actually for suppressing the certificate, right? So in the initial stage of our installation process, we have observed and we have faced the similar challenges where even after we are taking the new certificate, but we were facing the issue that certificate validation getting failed repeatedly. And in this particular demo, we are trying to resolve that issue. So the main thing what we are trying to do, we will try to generate a new certificate, and specifically this is a trick. The main trick lies inside the process by which we generate a certificate. So we'll not do any further delay and we'll start to the demo directly. Okay, so we are currently logged into the Amazon console. Um, as you can see, so that is our that particular Ubuntu box on which we are running the Fleet server, and these are the three certificates that we are using right now for hosting this particular server. So what we will do, we will create a new set of certificate, right? So let's do that first. So we will delete this new cert folder and we'll create a new certificate folder because we have some another certificate inside that. If you see this same kind of certificate, so we'll delete that folder first of all. So we'll do a sudo -r new cert, right? So ls -l, so that is gone. We'll clear the screen and new certificate. Okay, so that is created. So if we now refresh this page, so it is working. Okay, so Let's go back. Okay, I think this one is particularly cached page, so let us try to open that from the scratch. So this was our fleet server. This is the IP address. Let's see if we try to open that up. Copy. The page is not loading anymore, so that's because we have removed that particular folder from our directory. um, and these three files we are not using anyway. So what we will do now, we will create a new set of certificate, and please check this process very carefully, because this is a very important step for registering the that particular OSQuery daemon to talk with, right? So yeah, so we will go through our steps. So these are our steps. First we will do this thing, open SSL. Okay, so we will change out our path. So I believe we are inside slash home ubuntu plus, but let's see what's okay. Yeah, so we are inside that, and what we will do, we will do home ubuntu, then new certificate server key. Okay, so it's created. Next step is to take that particular certificate and to generate a particular CSR file. So we will be storing that particular CSR file inside that same directory. Home ubuntu, then new certificate key, and this will be the same path. Home ubuntu new certificate server.csr. Okay, so it will ask the same set of queries that we have given last time. So we will do the same kind of thing what we have did the last time. Okay, okay, so it's asking the country code, to IN, state will okay, just for the sake of usage we are doing it, so we can give it as Blackboard. Now this step is very important, the common name. So if you choose any other common name rather than your IP address or the domain name to which your OSQuery daemon needs to talk, basically our fleet server IP address, the process will not work. So always remember this FQDN, this common name of the certificate has to match the IP address of your fleet server, anything like IP address or the DNS name, the domain name. So our fleet server is running on this DNS and it's its IP address. So we will put it up here, and don't mention that the port number. So we have tried a lot of way and we have received the same kind of error if you put 8080 over here, but that is not required, so we just need to put that IP address. Okay, so email address, we will put our email address. So you guys can contact us for any help in this particular email address. So not needed. So now this process is done. So the final step for creation of the certificate. Okay, so we will simply paste it and we will take the CSR file and the key file. Oh, Ubuntu new cert and Ubuntu new cert will be out in the same directory. Home Ubuntu new cert server.cert, right? So yes, it is now created. Now if we do a ls-l on our new certificate, you will see the same three files has been created now. Now what we will do, we will use these three files for running our plate server. So we will just give up the same command what we have given the last time for running our plate server. So this was our command for running our plate server. So we believe it was running here couple of minutes back, so we will just take it from this page itself, right? So you remember how to get this a auth JWT key from our last demo. If you do not, so you can watch that last demo. Okay, so we will clear up the screen and we will do a paste. What we need to change here, we need to change the path of the server key and the certificate. So this path is now not valid. So the new path is, what is the new path? New certificate. This is our new path. We will copy it and we will paste it here. So we are just pasting the path of our server key and server cert page. Okay, the same thing goes here as well. Paste. Okay, I think everything is done. What we will do, we will do what's happening. Let us copy it again. Oops, sorry for that. Oh, I think our connection got broken. Okay guys, so we are back and our network has been restored. So we are still on that page. Here it is unable to connect, so we will now run the fleet command, basically the same command, and we have just changed our new certificate path in that particular command. Everything else is same what we ran last time. So we will do % at the end for to run it as a backup process. Sorry, not the backup process, the background process, and we will do a no hub, right? So it is the same client machine that we used last time, and we have run that launcher, if you remember, and if you have seen our last video. So we have run the launcher, and through launcher we have run our new the OSQuery daemon process, right? So now this step is quite different. So what we are gonna do, if we add if we click here add new host, it will give us the secret key and it will give us a certificate. So if we click here, we can download this certificate. So this is the same certificate in the PEM format that we have given while launching our um, freight server. So we will download that. Okay, so it's downloaded. We will close this window. Okay, we will go to our file. So file is open. So this is our particular certificate, right? So let's rename the certificate. Okay, we will rename it as uh, OSQ cert.pem, right? Now we need to transfer this certificate uh, to our host. So the basically our Amazon host on which our OSQuery D will be running, right? So we will use FileZilla for this connection. So if you are not familiar with FileZilla, so and how to do the transfer, and also you can give us a comment, and we will be happy to share how to transfer file and how to connect Amazon instance using um, this FileZilla. Okay, so you can see our WSQuery PIM certificates, and this is our so left hand side is our machine and right hand side is our Amazon box. So we will just drag and drop this certificate over here. Okay, successful. If you can see, here the command came, and if we go back to our terminal, so we will do ls -l, and you can see OSQuery cert.pem here, right? Now let's clear up the screen and we will run OSQuery daemon. So to run OSQuery daemon, this is our whole command. So we will simply copy paste this. We will copy it and we will paste it here. Okay, now okay, so it's the same kind of command if you are using launcher. So launcher will also run this kind of command inside its configuration file. So basically if you are running this command, you are using the API call, and API call which is actually calling our fleet server, and it is asking to configure this OS query, basically this host as a daemon, right? So TLS server certificate. So here actually our certificate path needs to go, right? So if we remember, our certificate name is oscert.pem, right? So we need to mention the path over here. Everything else is remains same. Okay, and one more thing, we will ask you. So just be cautious. So enroll secret path. So last time while we ran this command, uh, if you see this command Linux launcher, we have supplied enroll secret directly. But if you are calling OSQuery D, there is no enroll secret flag. So we need to configure, or we need to create a new file that name enroll secret, and we need to paste the same secret key that we can get from the fleet console, right? I hope you remember where to get this secret from the fleet console. So we have done the same thing. We have created a file name Enroll Secret in this particular location, and we are calling it up here enroll path. Okay, so our certificate path will be lying under root, then it's called osq.pem, right? We will paste it here. Okay, everything is fine. Now we will hit enter. Oh, oops, there is some error. Okay, no such file on directory. User pen OSQuery D. There is something fishy about it because OSQuery D should be here. Let us check OSQuery I if it is running. Yeah, OSQuery I is running. Okay, Control Z. What is wrong? Did we did something wrong? So it's telling us no such file on directory. So let us troubleshoot that, and we will come up shortly. Okay, so we are back here. So what we did a mistake. So you can ignore this thing. So um, what we did the mistake. We ran OSQuery D from this path user bin OSQuery D, but that is not required. We can just run the OSQuery D from our current path. So we will clear the page, okay, and we will simply run OSQuery D from this current working directory itself. So let me go through the flags that we have used. So first OSQuery D, we are calling it Enroll Secret path. So that is the secret path that we are getting from the fleet server. TLS host name. So this is our fleet server host name. So if you go here, so it's 13 223 61 67. So you can see the same over here on 8080. Host identifier means so by which name fleet server will understand this particular host on where we would be running the OS query. So if you run the command hostname, whatever the hostname will be coming up, that will be shown in our fleet server as well. So enroll TLS endpoint, so we are calling it the API to enroll. Configure plugin is TLS because we will be using the TLS one, and the same thing endpoint is the API endpoint, we are calling it over here. Distributed, disable distributed, that is false. So these are the by default command that we are giving it over here. um, and remaining like distributed interval is 3. So if the connection get terminated or get rejected due to some reason, it will work, it will wait up to 3 seconds and it will again regenerate. Distributed TLS max attempt will be 3. After 3 attempt the connection will be terminated fully. um, then the endpoint is the same, and it will be the same kind of thing. So remaining OS query logs, it will store the OS query log over here, and logger period is 10, and this is our OS query PEM server certificate that we just transferred using FileZilla. So let's hit enter and let's see. Okay, so these so by this command you can see if you see this command, that means your server got registered. So you can see it over here. Host successfully detected. So this is our host name, and you can query it as well. Create new query. Select, if you select from uptime, you will select one host, this host, and select this one, and you will run it. So it will take some seconds of time, and it will be up and running. So if you go back to our terminal, you can see the same query is running. So if you do a control C over here and to kill the process, so our OSQuery host will also be down after the heartbeat. It will be down. So if you want to run it in the backend process, there are two steps. Either you can do it with a systemd, or you can run it as a NoHub process, like the way we are running our fleet server, right? So we had a lot of queries regarding this certificate validation process. So I believe you understood where actually we are doing wrong in previous steps, and if you are receiving some similar kind of error that certificate validation is failed, certificate validation not happening, that is due to the reason of your certificate CN. So if you see here, so the CN common name needs to match the IP address or the host name to which your endpoint will talk, right? That you need to remember. And if you are procuring CA approved certificate, so that would be definitely will have this particular information either in your common name or your subject information, right? So if that is okay, so there won't be any problem, right? So we killed that particular process and it is red right now, right?
Hope you have enjoyed the session and it was informative. If you have any queries, please let us know in the comment section below. Stay tuned for our new upcoming topics. Thanks for watching.